This morning, the investigation continues into what caused an apartment building to partially collapse in the Bronx.
Yeah, miraculously, the FDNY says nobody was killed. Pix 11's Kiran Dhillon live on the scene in Morris Heights with much more for us. Kiran, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Dan and Callie. Yeah, this is just an incredible story, really terrifying as well. And this morning there are so many questions about exactly what happened, what caused this partial collapse. The investigation does continue. The good news this morning is that no one was killed, but more than 100 people remain displaced. Take a live look behind me right now so you can see for yourself. We also have Air 11 here this morning that is also going to give us a good look at this collapse. Now, the building in question is still standing here, but the corner of the collapse, the corner where the collapse happened is clearly visible. There's debris and rubble on the street right in front of the building. The FDNY is also here surveying the damage. And you can see the terrifying partial collapse was caught on video. Pedestrians can be seen running for their lives as 6 stories came crashing down.
Maybe like an earthquake type noise. It was very loud.
The catastrophic collapse in 1915 Billingsley Terrace took place around 3:30 in the afternoon. Many of the people who live in the 50-unit building were still at work or school. Belongings like beds and clothes still visible, even in the destruction.
Once they start cracking, everybody start going out.
These deli workers somehow made it out of the first floor in time.
They were able to evacuate on time.
Because they heard the cracking noises?
Yes.
First responders got to the scene in 90 seconds, and for hours, firefighters searched through debris and rubble, using drones, dogs, and even robots to search for any victims.
We'll be here until we're down to the street level, just to make sure if there are any victims under there, hopefully we could get to them in time.
Miraculously, it appears only 2 people suffered minor injuries. The Department of Buildings says the apartment was built in 1927 and is 7 stories tall. There were several open violations around unsafe facade conditions, though none of them structural. Work was currently being done on the building.
That report did find unsafe facade conditions, 7 of them. Mortar that was deteriorating, cracked bricks.
So what will happen next when it comes to the remaining part of this building? That is still unknown, whether it will be demolished. Of course, the DOB will have to continue to look into what caused this partial collapse. That investigation is ongoing, and you guys can imagine that there'll be a lot of safety concerns involved. Again, this is a very large building, 50 units, 7 stories, and 6 stories rather, I should say, of that came crashing down. And so again this morning we can tell you that no one was killed, but about 140 people have been displaced from their homes, 37 households, and the Red Cross is now assisting those families to get shelter and food and all of those things. So this is a developing story, guys. As we have more information, we will bring it to you. That is the latest from the Morris Heights section of the Bronx. Kiran Dhillon, Pix 11 News.
All right, Kiran, thank you. And as Kiran mentioned, there were problems with the facade and the work was being done, but the buildings commissioner says an unsafe facade does not mean the building is structurally unsound. Although repairs had started, officials do not believe any workers were present at the time of the collapse. The building's owners did submit drawings of the collapsed area for the facade work. The Department of Buildings is examining those drawings as part of their investigation.
Okay.